Hey everybody, this is Elenbaas from Nightlight Astrology, and these are your Sun and Rising Sign horoscopes for the month of July 2019. So this is the Sun and Rising Sign horoscope for Aries. It's eclipse season, and I'm on the road right now. I am visiting a mother in Michigan, where she lives. So you're used to seeing me in my office at home. Um, so it's a special road edition. So we're looking at two big eclipses this month. One is in a sign of Cancer, the other is in the sign of Capricorn. And the month really gets going on July 2nd with the solar eclipse in Cancer. I'll go ahead and give you a picture of it so that you can see it. Here it is right down here. See the solar eclipse getting together. For you, that's your fourth whole sign house, which is the place of home, family, property, and roots. A solar eclipse is like a very powerful version of a new moon. So you're talking about, on every new moon, a seed that's being planted. And the seed takes time to develop. In the case of an eclipse, you're talking about the next 3 to 6 months at least, up to a year. Because we're in an eclipse season that features eclipses in your fourth house, all the way dating back to last summer at this time, you could say that right now, in general, there is a lot of development, growth, and change happening for you in the area of your chart related to home, family, roots, property, land, but in a more general sense, everything that supports you at the base or at the roots. So changes happening there pretty intensely this month. And we see the continuation of this theme again with eclipses that will follow in the winter season of 2019 into 2020. So I got a ways to go on this theme, but it's a very powerful eclipse to start the month on July 2nd. Now, beyond that, we go to July 8th into the 9th, and you have another very powerful transit happening. This one is a conjunction between Mercury and Mars in the sign of Leo, and Mercury is turning retrograde right at that time. Now, first of all, in general, this conjunction between Mercury and Mars, especially in a fire sign, can be really combative. With Leo involved, you got to be careful of that bossy, domineering, self-centered, maybe somewhat narcissistic energy. You want to be careful that you're not embodying that, and you want to be careful that you're not surrounding yourself with people who are embodying that, or that you're not being pushed around. Not likely for Aries Sun or Aries Rising to be pushed around without pushing back. But this energy can definitely express itself also in terms of volatile moods, tempers, a sharp tongue, just being more confrontational and maybe quicker to feel offended. The ego can kind of just flare up around this one. So you want to be careful of that. In the fifth house, of course, there's questions around the topics of children. If you have kids, this transit could impact children or your relationship with children. It could be a little bit more rebellious, or confrontations with your kids could be a little bit more intense. You could also see this in terms of the fifth house is a place that's related to joy and fun. What are you doing for fun? How do you express joy in your life? Where do you look for happiness or even entertainment? And you want to be careful here. Anything involving entertainment or sports or recreation could be a little bit intense or extreme. It'd be easy to get drunk at the bar when you shouldn't. It'd be easy to get in a fight with someone, a friend, while out, supposedly trying to have a good time. This a little edgier transit. So even when you're looking for things to do, which you might think of typically as more joyful or fun, be careful. There's a little bit more of an edgy energy in the air around this one. I'm going to add in the outer planets now and show you how the outer planets are actually participating in this as well. You're going to see, for example, that at the start of this Mercury retrograde, that Mercury and Mars are also in a square to Uranus in your second house. This transit could also bring up some unexpected dynamics around money or business or expenses, or even new revenue or income streams. Could also have you paying for some kind of new technology or updating or upgrading some form of technology. So those are a few other things to watch for. As the month goes on, between the 10th and the 15th, thereabouts, you're going to see that the sun in the sign of Cancer in your fourth house will be going through oppositions to Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn in your 10th house of career. This is a process that's beginning. We're also going to see between the 17th and the 21st, Venus in Cancer down in the 4th house will also get in on the action and start opposing Saturn and Pluto in your 10th house of career. On July 16th, right in the middle of all of this, there's going to be a full moon lunar eclipse in your 10th house of career. So the tension between your public life, your professional life, and your home and family life really pronounced this eclipse cycle, this moon cycle with the two eclipses. So watch for that. And you're also going to watch for the emotional needs of your inner life, your nuclear family, your home, your private sphere of life, and the demands, necessities, and transformative process that's happening in the workplace. It's a time where there are fated events really pronounced with that lunar eclipse in your career house this month. They're being pitted against, in some ways, deeper emotional territory in love relationships or friendships or family and more of your private life, or perhaps something involving home or property or family karma. So those two areas are really sort of hot this month for you. Now, the last transit that's on my list of the month, there's always so many, and I try to keep these really simple and get to the things that are biggest and most important. The other one this month is at the very end of the month, another new moon cycle starting, 2 new moons in 1 month. Kind of auspicious there. You're going to see this big lineup in Leo. Oops, excuse me. Let me bump the chart around a second here. So you're going to see that big stellium of planets in Leo right there. And again, the new moon conjoined with Venus, another square to Uranus in Taurus in your 2nd house. Again, there's the next new moon cycle is reiterating this what Mercury retrograde starts off with around the 8th or the 9th of July, which is something about the topics of joy, pleasure, fun, spontaneity, children, pregnancy, even sexuality to a certain extent. All those any of those topics could be really activated. Probably some challenges around them considering Mars's presence, and then square to Uranus in the financial house, unexpected developments, possibly some interesting new creative collaborations, in business or new potential ways of making money. But I think also you have to be really careful about diet, lifestyle, being excessive in any way, and unexpected expenses that could come up, or karmic bills that are due somehow in relationship to basically, your free time, what you're doing to have fun. Also, probably some desire with Venus square Uranus to experience a greater degree of freedom in relationships. You want to be careful that you're not provocative or rebellious just for the sake of being provocative, especially since this transit could kind of sabotage relationships if you're not careful of really thinking about what other people need. Maybe a little bit of an edge of narcissism with all of the Leo this month, with Mars there and the Mercury retrograde and things like that. So you just want to be careful this month. I think a good lesson for Aries is really be considerate of those that you love and those that you're in close relationships with, whether they're family or friends. So that's what I've got for you, Aries. I hope that this was helpful for you. Hope it gives you a few good things to think about. Let me know how your month goes. I'd love to hear from you. And yeah, I'm on the road right now in Michigan, but I'll be checking back later this week to give more updates about the upcoming eclipse. All right, take care.